So we decided to come out to the Tumwater Canyon. Try not to fall down here standing on a rock pile. There's, I don't know, some dude that followed me here. Mr. Happy. But if you see him out in the woods, run. So just letting you know, he is a little scary. So I've kind of got my first shot set up. I've got the Nisi magnetic filters. They're great because they're big. Downside to them is that when it's raining, they're of no use because then they just get coated in water. So as long as it's not raining, they're a good filter system. But when it's raining, I like to put my lens hood on and I have my threaded on polarizer. Just works better. So just a little heads up before you buy the magnetic filters that are bigger, because I think they're a 95mm filter, so they're fairly big. But anyway, we're gonna stay here and shoot the what is this? Wenatchee River. You can see got the footpath bridge in the background. That's what we're shooting. Then we're gonna work our way up the road. And then if you stick around later, I'll show you a really good way to do intentional camera movement, or ICM, using your tripod. So I decided to put a 3-stop filter on and have an 8-second exposure. That way it'll smooth out the water really well. Fortunately, there's no wind, so don't have to worry about that. Otherwise, just typical shot for the Tumwater Canyon here. My head's getting hot because even though it's cold out, it is getting kind of warm as I'm walking around in these log or rock piles. So, and I'm trying to keep, Genius Boy over here from, doing dumb things, because he's clumsy. He falls down a lot. It's not his fault. He was born in Wisconsin, lives in a van down by the river. He really doesn't. So anyway, we're just gonna stay here for a little bit and then wander on. So I'll try and move you a little closer to my camera here and show you what I've got in the frame. Spin you around. Come on. There you go. Oops. You can see just the leading line of the water and then into the bridge. So it actually looks pretty good. You can use your polarizer. You can see how the water changes as I spin my polarizer. But like I said, as you can see the size difference, the filter system to the lens. So if it was raining, I can't put my lens hood on and protect my polarizer. So that's the one downside to these filters. Right now I have the polarizer and the 3-stop ND 0.09 or 0.9, something like that. That gives me a 5-second exposure, ISO 50 and f16. So just gonna smooth out the water. It is, as you can see, just kind of gray skies, kind of textureless skies. So I'm trying to keep that out of the frame. I have the bridge pretty high up, so it just have the mountain in the background. So I don't know what Genius Boy down here is doing. He thinks he's an okay photographer, but you know what? Just don't believe him if he says anything like, oh, I'm better than everybody else, because he's really not. He's just, he just kind of follows me around, just kind of copies all my settings, because he's afraid to find out what his camera can actually do, because he's a Canon shooter. You know how those people are. No, just kidding. He is a Canon shooter, but whatever. All cameras are the same. They all do the same thing. So anyway, we're almost done here. Then we're gonna move up the road to find some more water and fall color. So I'm really hoping you can hear me with the sound of the river. So I came down a little close to the river and I turned my camera as well. And now this is the shot I have. See, I don't know if it'll be in focus here. Oh, seems to be. So that's my shot. Got the leading line of the river into the rocks, into the trees. And it's still, what are we at, 5 seconds. And I tend to shoot about, like I'm at minus 0.7 of a stop, mostly so that the highlights in the water don't get blown out. It keeps those nice and detailed, nice and sharp. Because if I seem to go like 0, they tend to get blown out a little bit. So I can always kind of bracket. So I take one of those kind of darker exposure and a brighter exposure from the foliage, then just brush in the whiter spot of the water, which I may do. Since I'm here, I may as well get the images just so I have them. So I'm gonna do that. And then if shot turns out any good, I'll put it up right now. So hopefully you can hear me. We moved down the road. There's the dam on Highway 2 here. Let me spin you around. You can see what I'm shooting. You see you have the nice leading line of the river. There's a little dam, got the clouds, got the nice fall color. So I'm still working on my composition. I just got my camera set down. I still have the 3-stop neutral density on, and hopefully I can get some nice smooth water. So I usually don't do that, but because I usually like a quarter second, something like that, show movement. But today I'm just doing all kinds of different things. So I've got a lot of fall color shots this year from just the local area, which is really nice because I usually don't. Anyway, you can see I'm right next to the highway as well. There's a guardrail and stuff right there, so it's not that big of a deal. But we are going to probably be here a little bit longer. TJ is off flying his drone, getting his drone shots and all that, and I'm going to shoot the river. I did a telephoto shot earlier. I got some nice fall color with the reflection because there's like a little pond up in there. And if any of those shots turned out, here's those shots. And then we're going to keep heading down the road. There are a couple other pondy areas. I know last year they were dried up. I wasn't able to come out here, but talking to a couple other photographers, they dried up. So hopefully, with all the rain we've had recently, then they'll be back to being nice reflective pools. And then slowly work our way home. So let me show you the back of my camera now. I'm at f/16, ISO 50, 3.2 seconds. You can see, got the nice leading line. See if I can get you in focus here. Got the nice leading line of the river. Comes up, kind of turns into the dam, and then up into the cloudy mountains. So it's really nice that the mountains have the moisture on them. Don't know. I don't know how to work my camera, so I can get you spin around. It's really nice that the mountains have all the clouds above. Like there's TJ's drone right there, flying right past me. So it makes for a nice fall color image, kind of a dark, moody sky. These will not be black and white. I've always struggled turning things like this in black and white because to me they're just too busy. I like my black and whites very simple, very elegant. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what I try to do. And these are just too busy with the dam, the trees, the rocks, the water, the kind of everything. A little too busy for me. So I'll stick to the fall color, because then we're going to keep working our way up the road. So we came out to one of the reflection ponds. Now it's starting to sprinkle on us. Then the wind picked up, so that's kind of a bummer, but still pretty good. And then I'll spin you around here. You can see the problem we have. See that? See that? See that? They go together. See? See? He hides, and then he sneaks up on you. Because he's creepy that way. And like I said, he also thinks he's good at photography, but you know, he tries. At least he's got that. So we're gonna keep moving up the road. I think it's almost lunchtime for me. Any other plans? Yeah, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I think that's about it. Ooh, and then I'll show you how I do my intentional camera movement, or ICM for short, using my tripod. So I mentioned how I do ICM, or intentional camera movements. So if I can, so you can see these trees back here, aspens or something over there. So I got my camera set up, pointed at them. If you notice, my front two tripod legs are in the front, and I've got the single in the back. Now, if you take this back leg and you shorten it up all the way, then I can actually move this up one. This now becomes your handle. See that? That way everything stays nice and straight. Unlike me. Yeah, I'm all bent. So, I'm at 0.4 of a second, f/13, ISO 50. And as I hit my shutter, in fact, if I go to 2-second timer, then, so you focus, hit the shutter, and then you can start moving it as the shutter goes. I take out silent mode so I can hear it beeping. See that? Just like that. Or, let's take it off, do just normal shutter, and everything stays perfectly straight. unless your camera's all twisted wrong. There you go. Now, see that? Perfectly straight. So if you try and do it in Photoshop, you get little sharp points down at the bottom and at the top. If you go into, I think, blur, motion blur, something like that, you can do this in Photoshop, but the bottom and the top have these little sharp points to them. So this way, you're just moving your camera and everything stays nice and straight. You can do it by hand, but then your lines kind of go all weird. So you just kind of rock it back and forth, hit the shutter, and they're nice and perfect. Now I show you these in the computer, and these are the shots. Hit stop button, just the red button once. Okay, so we are back from Tumwater Canyon, or I'm back. TJ, I don't know, who knows? Mr. Happy, looks like Santa Claus. But let's jump into my computer, and I'll show you what I mean with the ICM, how if you use Photoshop, you get little points and dots on the top and bottom, versus the way I did it in the field. So this image right here, this was done with my camera, right? By moving the tripod, tipping the tripod using the one leg. And then let's go to this other image here. This was taken in Tumwater Canyon somewhere. Now, the way you do this is you go up to filter, blur, then motion blur. And then you change the angle and change the distance so that it blurs. But you can see as I like go extra, click OK. See the top here and the bottom as well. If I zoom in, see how it gets these sharp little points, and right, it just doesn't look normal. And you can see on the bottom here as well that it did that. So if you go to the one I did with my camera by tipping the tripod, you can see those just don't exist. So it just looks much more natural. I don't really say natural because it is, you know, ICM, but it just looks better overall. So like I said, very simple little trick. You just, you know, like I said, shorten your one leg, or don't, but and then just kind of latch. My tripod has this little thing you pull out and you can adjust your leg, and pretty much all tripods do that. So you can just adjust it up and then just keep it fully extended and move your tripod up and down. That way when you're done, you can just flick it down and it'll hold your camera. And so I prefer to do it this way versus just using Photoshop to do it. Because like I said, it just, the top and bottom edges just look weird. So I just prefer not to do it that way. So let's close this, don't save that. And so this is the image. In the earlier part of the video, when I posted an image, that was actually the image I took last year. Same area, same technique, tipping tripod. So you'll see the top and the bottom areas don't have any weird little sharp definitive line points or whatever they're called. Nice thing about these, they're very easy to edit. You can see, so there is like a line here that was actually where the ground was. So, you know, it's just a matter of just tip it faster, tip it slower. Anything like that will kind of get rid of anything you want. Like I said, just experiment with all kinds of shutter speeds, with different speeds of adjusting your tripod. Just kind of get rid of that right there. Let's just do a curves adjustment, hit the option, auto, and then, because it is an abstract image, you can just do whatever you want. I kind of like this one. I like the purples up here, the reds, you know, it kind of really makes it kind of vibrant. So I think we'll just leave that. And I mean, that's almost how I would edit this image. Done, right? I mean, obviously, let me go back to here. You know, I'd fix all the little dust specks on my sensor. Because that is one thing when you do it this way, if you have any sensor dust or anything like that, it does show up as some nice little dots. So just definitely take care of those. But I just wanted to run through this real quick and show you what I mean by the sharp points when you try and do this in Photoshop versus doing it out in the field using a tripod. So I'd like to leave the video there. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I don't know. I think this will be my last fall color video. I can't remember. I can't keep track. And then I'll be back on the black and whites for a little bit. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.